Hi everybody and welcome back to Just a Girl and Her Knitting. My name is Heather and I am coming to you from Spokane Valley, Washington. It's, what day is today? Tuesday? June 16th. It's been a few weeks since I've had an opportunity to come on here and visit with you guys about my projects and what I've been working on. But today was a great day to do it, so I thought, well, why not? You can find me down below on the internet. I will link it. I have only one finished object. And all this time, I think. Anyways, we're just going to assume it's one finished object. I don't know. No, I don't know. No. Because I've been working on some test knits, and so those are taking up a lot of my time. But with that being said, let's get started. I feel like you're a little crooked. Maybe you're not, maybe you are, I don't know. Sorry about that. But let's jump right in. Hopefully you don't hear my dog barking. She does not like the UPS man. And hopefully I can drown out the sound of the helicopters and waterplanes. There's currently a wildfire here down our road about 6-ish miles. Where I live, there's the river, and then there's a whole bunch that takes you up into town to the north side and all of that. And that area got a level 3 evacuation, and I heard planes right afterwards, and I thought, interesting. So I went outside, and because the river is over on the other side, they fill up in the river to put them out. So you might hear that, you might not sure. I'm hoping I really hope they can get the fire out quickly and safely, and that there's no issues with that. I have spent enough time evacuating from wildfires since I've lived in this area. It's just at this point in normal. Well, it feels like normal for us. Every year at the lake, a fire starts, and so then we have to evacuate. Luckily, everyone has been safe. They've been able to save structures. They get them out really quickly, but it's really dry, so they go fast. They burn quickly. But anyways, praying for the safety of everybody involved. So with that being said, let's jump in and talk about my finished objects, which is only one. And that is a pair of socks for my husband. I think you guys had seen these before. They were a sock tube. It was a Zauber Ball Crazy, and I had about 55 grams left over, so I cranked it on my circular sock knitting machine. I have an Erlbacher Gerhardt Speedster where I make socks, not as much lately, but I do crank sock tubes. I also have an Etsy business where I crank said sock tubes. But they're finished, so I think these are 60 stitches. I don't know. Either way, when I finished the sock tube, so knitting the cuff, toe, and heel, I used a 1.15 US millimeter needle. I think that's a 2.5 millimeter needle. I'm not sure. I used Patton's Croy and Gentry Gray for the cuff and the toe, and then I just used some leftover patterns that I had for the heels. They went together enough. So these are for my husband. Like I said, they're a size 14, men's 14. So these are finished. So with that being said, I guess let's just jump right on up into works in progress. That sounds like some water planes. That sounds like quite a few of them. But anyways, so my first whip will be sock tubes. So I have put the cuffs on these, and I've also put the cuffs on this side. So what I decided I'm going to do is I am going to split them in half. You can see my stitch marker right there. That is exactly half. And then I'm going to put in the toes, and then I will count up 100 rows for the heels. But these are going to be 2 pairs of shorty socks for my husband. This was a sock blank that I purchased. It was a double knit sock blank that I started knitting, and then with my whole hand issue with not being able to knit small circumference, I decided to crank. So these are just scrap leftover. I think this is Woolens and Nosh from one of my advents, and then this is just a Lady in Fiber Arts, I think, in Bare Necessities. It's a 75-25. I can't remember that. So this is what I'm working on in between, you know, work and naps and whatnot. So no timeline on these. They'll get done when they get done. It'll be interesting to see though, because these do have Lycra in them, so it'll be interesting to see how, but they stretch. Do you see that? And they stretch this way. So it'll be interesting to see how these come out. So my next whip, I haven't put the needles on it, and I did not bring up the, this is saltwater taffy. So this one is July of 2025 Yarnable DK subscription I had from last year. This colorway is Tide Pool, and this one is saltwater taffy. So this is just another sock tube. These are DK weight, so 75-25 plus DK is what it is. And I'm going to put in my needles. So this is what my sock tubes look like when you order one, 48 stitches. And then I will put my needles in. I will knit cuff, cuff, cut in half, toe, toe, measure, heel, heel. Not much to write home about on those. These are next on my list of what I'm going to be working on. And I keep them in my pickle bag. This sits behind my monitor. And technically it sits behind my husband's monitor because that's where it is, but anyways, so I think today during my lunch break I'm going to put my needles in that one. My pickle bag by Cottontail Farms. Alright, so my next whip is in my Deli-Q bag. I have not put a lot of work in this since the last time we spoke, but I did get some knitting done. So this is my test knit for Alicia Plummer. I am using Malabrigo lace. It's 100% superwash. No, I don't think it's superwash. Do I have the it's under my iPad, and you guys are sitting very peculiarly on stuff. So I'm knitting on a US size 8. I switched over my needles to my metal ones because the wood ones were making it difficult. So when we talked last time, I was right here. I have split for the sleeves, and I have managed to get a few inches down the body. So this is what it's looking like. We will end up picking up for the ribbing around the neckline afterwards. So that's what we have. It's kind of hard to see, it's very dark, and I'm alternating skeins. I have 2 of them right here. I'm helically knitting. Oh hey, I do have a tag. I have the third ball right here, or the third cake skein. So it's the colorway and the lace weight. It is 100% baby merino wool. It is 470 yards per skein. So it's supposed to be knit out of a lace weight Suri or mohair. It's like temporarily named the Suri pullover which she'll change the name. But after the last few times that I've knit with mohair and Suri, I decided I didn't want to do that. So I picked a different option to knit it in, which so far I've been enjoying. So that I'm working on. My next project I'm working on is my Ariana cardigan inspiration. I wouldn't say dupe, I don't think that's necessarily what it is, but it's with all of my leftover DK yarnable scraps. So I knit a whole bunch, or crocheted a whole bunch of these on my Tula Petimo crochet hook, a 6.50, 3.75 millimeter. But I have a ton of these. Well, I have managed to, so I'm hoping that when I go to block, it will straighten out. But I've managed to get some of them attached already. So I'm doing a crochet, single crochet to attach. Let me move that so it's out of the way. A single crochet to attach them. So I've done 2, 4, 6, 8 so far, and I've done all the way down here, and now I'm slowly working on this part. It's not as easy, well, I guess it's not hard, but it's definitely not quick. So, and I'm using, this gray is Woolies, Lion Brand Woolies, and a gray heather color, but this is how far I've gotten so far. And I thinking that this might be a front piece, and then I'll do another front piece, and then, yeah, I think I need 4 around for my sleeves, but I have the sleeve ones, because the sleeves will be all the same colors, because I have duplicates. But that's where we've gotten so far. I probably should have stopped and woven all my ends before I started this part, but that will be a whole nother adventure that we go on. So I'm just working on this right now. I have a whole bunch of squares inside my bag that I made years ago. And then my last whip that I've been dedicating a ton of time to, because the test knit is ending, well, we have 4 weeks. It ends in July. But I've really been enjoying it. I didn't think I was, I don't know. I don't know if it was that I wasn't going to enjoy it, or if I was thinking that it was going to take me longer than it has. But this is my, I don't remember how to say it, oh, I have the paper. Let's see if I can do this quietly without waking up my best little friend over here, because she is sleeping on the sofa, like always. MYNE top by Wander and Create with Emma. So that's what it looks like. It's both a V-neck and a scoop neck. It's just a summer tank. So I think when I spoke to you guys last, I don't remember exactly where I was. I think I had the back done and I was starting the fronts. But I have since finished the V-neck. And there's the ribbing for the sleeve detail. The scoop neck is done. And I'm working on 4 inches of ribbing. 1 by 1 ribbing. So I'm at about 2 inches. So this is what we have so far. And you knit this edging, the ribbing, at the same time. So you don't have to go back and pick up the stitches. And then it has this really nice ribbing detail on the side. So that's been nice. So my finishing is going to be weaving in ends. There's a ton of ends, but that's it. And I'm on my 2nd ball of yarn. So I'm using Cascade Heritage Sock. It's a 75-25 in this bluey gray color. This is my 2nd skein. My size said under 800 yards. And I'm knitting size 6. So that's really cool. It's not very often that I can get a 2 skein project in fingering weight. Usually I knit like a 5 or a 6, because while my bust isn't huge, for some reason I always think that it's bigger than it is, even though I've measured and remeasured and measured again. But in my mind, it's like, nope, that's not right. Even though it says it's only 46 or 48 or whatever it is for the day, I always think that's wrong, so I always knit a bigger size. So, with that being said, here we go. I'm at like 2.5 inches of ribbing of 4, and then I can bind off. So, yay. I think I'm going to enjoy wearing this quite a bit, probably with high-waisted pants per se, or maybe under one of my rompers. I have some rompers I got. That might be cute. Let's see, what else do I have? I finished a skinny yarn we can talk about. So, a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago, we went and I bought some alpaca yarn to wash and process and blend with some of my Suffolks I have, or my Shetland. It was recommended to do Shetland, but I wasn't really the biggest fan of how the Shetland carded. I don't know if I took pictures of it prior, but I have this, oh, oops, wrong. Let me see if I have what it looked like before. Hold on. Oh, and since we've talked, I've finished some sock tubes for some customers. So I guess I've done a bit of stuff, but trying to see when the last time we were at the lake was. It's been a little bit. We didn't go the first few weeks of the month because we had stuff we had to do, and then we didn't go last week because we didn't have power. Do I not have any pictures of it? I sure don't. I thought I took a picture of the bat, but I guess I didn't. Okay, anyways. So I did an 80-20. 80% Shetland, 20% alpaca, and this is how it turned out. I washed it, I picked it, I carded it on my drum carder, and then I spun it in a 2-ply. I don't know if I like spinning from bats yet. The jury's still out on that, but I got maybe 300 yards. I don't know. I need to put it on my my counter. It might be, and it's about a fingering weight to light sport weight. But it's kind of ropey, and I don't know if that's the suffix, the way I process it, or the fact that it's not clean all the way. Not suffix, Shetland. So, as you guys know, the niece and cousins come with us. I thought I had my thingy. Oh, I do. Hold on one second, guys. I have my handy dandy reps per inch device. I feel like I'm all over the place. It's amazing how when you don't podcast for a while, you forget what you're doing. So, in spots, it's 20, it's on the 20, and in other spots it's on the 16. So it could go fingering to sport, which that's fine. I think what I might do is cone it up and stick it on my circular sock knitting machine and crank it and see how that turns out. But anyways, back to what I was saying. So I washed the Shetland last year. I think I washed it last year. I may have washed it the year before. But I had help. And as you guys know, the niece and the cousins, they're 12 and like 6 or something like that, help me. Well, the Shetland did not get clean all the way. And so it was really lanolin. There's still a lot of lanolin in it. And so I don't know if that added to the roughness or just maybe I should have spun it long draw, not short forward draw like I do. I go usually. But I don't know. I have some work to do on this, figuring this one out. So I think this week we're going to go, hopefully this week we're going out to the lake. I'm going to finish cleaning, washing the alpaca fiber. And get that done and dry and then go from there. And I think I have to re-clean all of my fleece. So that'll be interesting. I did watch somebody, they use like buckets from Lowe's or the Home Depot. They have 2 of them, but they drill holes in one of them and they put their hot water in and then they lower their fleece in and then they like pull it out that way instead of using laundry bags. We're gonna try that. I have 2 pink ones behind me that my husband's gonna drill the holes in tonight. So that'll be interesting to see. I hope it works. But anyways, so that I did finish. Maybe I can have my 60 stitch still under on my machine right now. I guess I could put it on that. Crank that and see how it goes. Cranking rustic yarns is not so easy, but maybe I will. We'll talk about it next time. Hopefully it won't be as long, but of a gap, but you never know. So then my last thing that I'm really excited about trying or doing is I bought this, and I've been trying to be good about not buying, but I was watching the ladies at Table 10, Rachel and Renee, and they were talking about a sock set that they got, or a sock fiber they got for socks, and they got it from Wound Up Fiber Arts. And what it is, it's a scrappy sock bundle. Super Sock Custom Blend, 90% Superwash Merino, 10% nylon. 10 different colorways, making every skein unique. Just grab one and start spinning. So this is 100 grams. And so the premise is you just take a bundle and you spin it and you do the next one and the next one and the next one. So I think when I go to do it, I don't know what I'm thinking. I think I want to do a traditional 3-ply, not a chain ply, because that's what I usually do. I guess we'll find out. But I was thinking about splitting these into thirds and then spinning one batch of 3, a batch of 3, a batch of 3, and then plying it all together and seeing how that turns out. If I got a DK weight, that would be okay, but I'm really excited about this. I'm hoping this will go on my wheel next. We'll see. Other than that, I think I'm looking around just to make sure I don't have anything else ready to... Oh, I know what I was going to show you guys. I was going to show it last time, but I didn't get around to it, which I'm still going to take. I'm going to take it out, but a few months ago when I was down in Moscow, I went and purchased some fiber from Two Spring Fiber Arts. I remembered. And it was this really pretty pink and brown. I don't know if I have the picture. it's been done for so long, but I only recently cranked it. I have so many pictures of the baby on my phone that finding my knitting sometimes is difficult. My mother-in-law asked for pictures every single day, pretty much ever. And so I do that. I take pictures every day of the baby. And I have a million of them, which is fine. She's super cute. So, oh, nope. It is 2 Spring Fiber Arts, I know that. How long ago did I spin this? I'm gonna be sitting here forever with you guys, and you're gonna be like, really? You're such a pain in the ass. Anyways, here you go. This is what it looked like. Up? Is up better? Oh, up is not better. Down. Down is better. So this is what the fiber looked like before I started. And it's sparkly, it's peachy, it's browny, like it has all kinds of fun colors. So I spun it up relatively fine, actually, super fine. And then I did a chain ply, which I'm not the best at chain plying, but I did it. I'm kind of proud of myself. And this is how it turned out. So it turned out to be a very pretty self-striping tube. I'm probably going to rip it out and make something else because I don't know that I like the inconsistency for socks. This was 100% Shanico and 20% Stellina. Or no, 80% Shanico and 20% Stellina. So, but that's what it looks like. I made myself a little self-striping sock yarn. So this took me forever to spin, and this took me forever to ply. Because I had to ply it in between the babies helping me. She helps with everything. But yeah, so that was fun to do. I'm looking forward to seeing what I can do with this sock set and go from there. But anyways, let's see what else. Hopefully we get to go to the lake this week. If not, it is what it is. Hopefully they get this fire put out quickly. That's what I'm hoping for the most. We've been working on our upstairs bathroom. We have almost all the drywall up, and then we will get to work on taping and mudding, and then, you know, the usual prime texture paint, get that done. We are gearing up for 4th of July out at the lake, so that should be fun. Just working, doing the things. It's hot here now. It went from being cold to being really hot, and I'm not so thrilled about that. We had to bring our air conditioner in earlier than usual, so that's fun. But anyways, with that being said, I hope you guys have fun with your knitting, your crafting, whatever it is that you do. Have a great summer. If it's summertime, if it's winter, have a great winter. Enjoy your knitting, your time with family, friends, having fun with all your crafts. And and happy Pride. It is June, so happy Pride, and I will see you guys later. Bye.